Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the epilogue of the Tales of Jai Kattan. Now, Jai had a troubled life. He did manage to get out to Heft and try to start a new life after getting fired from his former noble master, but was falsely imprisoned. Learned the plight of slavery, did his best to help out, probably most famous for the slaying of a leviathan. He became quite proficient in the use of a bow, pretty deadly and famous in his own right. And by no fault of his own, rather, he just wanted to help when he could, but he got pulled into forming the freedom fighters with the friend he ran into, Hamut. And they did actually free quite a few slaves in their attempt. And he was fleeing a bounty, going to chill out for a while. They were heading out through the swamp when Jai met his end to a blood spider, which horrible way to go. One does have to admit, but that's life in Kenshi. Not always fair. So this is here where Jai Kattan lies. Although occasionally they are around the bars and taverns, there are stories told again of him slaying that mighty Leviathan. Now we'll get an epilogue of the rest of the party as well. Now, Redfire ended up serving again with the Freedom Fighters for a time, but then he actually returned to the Trader City, where him and Jai had set up the tavern, and where he still runs it to this day. Now, Sadnil, a very interesting tale. After the death of Jai, he barely said him. He did feel bad. Wandered the earth for a while, till he eventually ran back to the Skin Bandits. Those robots we had made an alliance with who wore the flesh of humans and thought they were human. He served as their king. That is a tale for another time. Azumi did go on to study more, went up to World's End, where she studied the first extinction, and was really renowned for a lot of scientific breakthroughs, thanks to all the tutoring by Jai. Now Hamut. Hamut was torn up by vengeance for losing his wife. He never did stop the fight. Along with what were left of the freedom fighters, he did keep fighting until he was eventually brought down on a strike against one of the slaver cities. Yeah, even his luck finally did run out. Now Cassius was an interesting story. He eventually went back out to the Hounds in Shark, where eventually, along with him and Smoke and Bash as well, they eventually took over the Hounds. And Cassius put a gigantic bounty on all blood spiders, and he did get rid of, eventually, they did get rid of all the blood spiders in the swamp. But he still patrols the swamp daily, just in case. Yeah, Smoke did help out his good friend Cassius in Shark. Did end up taking a lot of trading business as well, where they ruled the Hounds, yeah, till their end. Black Sheep served with the Freedom Fighters for a while, but after they kind of disbanded after Hamut's loss and everything, he wandered back south in search of the Queen and perhaps some redemption. Stubbs, he went back out to being mercenary work after the Freedom Fighters' loss of losing Hamut and everyone else. Yeah, he did go back to mercenary work. Now, Rain the Giant, mighty shuck that she was, actually left sometime after Jai. They felt they served Jai, so they left along with a few others, and they went out to the west, back to the Shek, where they actually followed Beep, believe it or not. And Ruka did go as well, serving alongside what now is, some would say, the legendary Beep. Now, Ridley. Ridley did take it rather hard and also is kind of a little bit invisible right now. That's how bad she took it. Ridley, yeah, was rather devastated. Though it did follow Hamut and the freedom fighters because Jai had won Ridley her freedom. What actually caused his first incarceration. So she did also perish next to Hamut fighting at the end in that battle. And Kang, they're actually known as the Three Mighty Shek of the legendary Beep. Kang did follow him to Beep into mighty battles as well. Now, Surdu, the mighty Surdu, did find himself back in the employ of the United Cities once again after he did return home to full honors. Now, Beep. Give that a second to actually load in for that. Beep. Truly a very interesting tale. Went with the 3 Shek back out to the west, where he did capture. Though really, I do believe the Bugmaster had fallen down some stairs, but he did manage to catch the Bugmaster, taken back to the Shek, where he's reigned as the chosen one. And his adventures were legendary and a tale for another time. Now, Infinite Wing Wang, and all his Infinite Wing Wangs. Though continues adventuring to this day, he did break off from the freedom fighters, and he wanders as a lone Ronin. And Shrike did end up going back with the Flotsam Ninjas, fighting for freedom against the Holy Nation in that front. And so did Pia and Digna as well, though freedom has never really been free in Kenshi this day. Now Burn did actually retire back to his tower. After Jai's death and subsequent fall of the freedom fighters, yeah, he did go back to his tower to wait till his servers stopped moving and his motors ran down, and it was the end of him. Now Reva did perish in the battle with Hamut as well. Knife also joined up with the Flotsam Ninjas, where they're still fighting for freedom. Sir Snuffles, Mr. Snuffles, Sir Mr. Snuffles, is still happy and alive in, actually right by with Redfire in the Traders Guild city of Hang. Now Marissa did perish in the battle with Hamut as well, along with Lif and Plant. Teslo, no, didn't actually perish. He actually opened up a clothing shop in Stack. True story. Stone, unfortunately, also did perish in that battle as well. Grumble John still roams the waste to this day. Often adventures tell of the mighty Grumble John still. Now Twitch has recently run his freedom. He did retire out back to the United Cities, and he started up a little farm. And Sand did perish during the freedom fighters' last battle. And Caper did perish as well. Now Bash went along with Cassius and Smoke, where they now run all of the Shark and most of the criminal organization as well, along with some of their former crew, Naruto, Genji, Lupin, Bill, Squigs, and Sasuke. So in the end, did the freedom fighters do some good? I feel that they did. They didn't last, and sadly, there's still not freedom in the land of Kenshi. The Traders Guild in the United Cities, Holy Nation, all too powerful, bring the freedom fighters to stand up, and the anti-slavers still strike from the shadows, Tin Fist, but they can't overcome it. But alright, ladies and gentlemen, that is it for the Kenshi and the Tales of Jai Katana. I hope you enjoyed this series as much as I did. Would have liked to end on a better note, but this is what I like about Kenshi. It's just dynamic storytelling, original crafting. You never know what's around the corner, and that's the reason I love it. But I hope you guys enjoyed the series. We also do have Kenshi Zombie Nation and our Kenshi Never Leave the Hub challenge going on as well if you need more Kenshi action. All right, but I hope you guys enjoyed. Be sure to hit that like button. It does help out a lot. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time.